It's finally done. The LMG LAN Center and Employee Lounge is finished. Just in time for us to need to dismantle it and move it upstairs. We have more construction happening, but you know what? We're gonna enjoy it while we can. And I'm gonna take you guys on the deluxe grand tour. Wait, am I allowed to say grand tour? You know what, it doesn't matter. Let's go. Oh, wait, after this word from our sponsor, Smart Deploy. Smart Deploy allows IT departments to re-image unlimited computer models from one golden image. Search their library and grab your exclusive free licenses worth over $700 at smartdeploy.com/Linus. Man, guys, this project has been so long in the works that I don't even know where to begin or where to end. So let's start at the beginning. This is, in fact, platform 9 3/4. Jake was in charge of all the signage for the lounge, so if you guys like it, then mad props to him. Oh, did you help, Vaughn? Oh, did you do all of it? Okay.
Harry Potter. What's wrong with Harry Potter?
It's so nerdy, I assumed it was Jake. Oh, you did pick the art. Oh, okay, so my assumption was then not that incorrect. So guys, there's the stuff that's done now, which is everything that we promised in the original plan, and then there's the future plan. So we've actually got a server cabinet sitting here for maybe, no guarantees, because we had some issues with our last multi-users one CPU project, but maybe we're gonna switch all the gaming machines over to like, I don't know, Blade servers or something, or like virtualized machines, and then we'll run like 100 gig networking over to the server room or something. Probably not, but for now we had nowhere else to put this thing, so that's where it goes. We have finally done all the artwork for the back of the LAN Center right here, including, this is freaking awesome. So this was a joint project, Jake, Alex, if I recall correctly, Matthias, and Lloyd all contributed to this. So it's an RGB backlit LTT logo. We had actually intended to do something a little bit bigger, but this was as big as our CNC router goes anyway, so hey, there you go. Next up is, of course, the gaming PCs. So it's finally finished, the 12-person LAN setup. I had originally wanted 16, but I got talked into 12. It's pretty darn awesome. And these are about as good as it gets, except for there have actually been some recent changes to what qualifies as the best hardware out there in the last little bit, but that's okay. This was the best we could get at the time anyway. I cannot figure out how to open this door. Did this one move? Why is it not opening? So we did a stream building these things a little while back, and we covered all the specs there, but I don't blame you guys for not watching that. It was about 4 hours long, but this is pretty much as good as makes sense. So not as good as it gets, but pretty freaking awesome. So for our monitors, we went with ASUS's PG279Qs. These are 2560 by 1440, 144 Hertz G-Sync displays. Freaking awesome experience. We've got Logitech's Brio 4K for our webcams. So anyone who wants to come in here and stream after work, I know Colton has actually already done a couple of, you've already done a couple streams from here, right?
Yeah, buddy.
How'd that go for you?
Pretty good.
Other than when I disconnected your Ethernet cable in the middle of it, right? Yeah, that's cool. So that's the only problem with streaming from here. For our peripherals, we've gone full Logitech because, let's face it, they make freaking awesome stuff. So most of them, I believe, are equipped with G Pro wirelesses, which is, are they all G Pro wireless? Fantastic. Then for our keyboards, we've gone with their G513 with their Roamer G switches. Our headsets, we actually have a variety of headsets, but this one is a G933. For the systems themselves, we actually ended up going with Ryzen 2700Xs because the reality of it is, guys, our crystal ball wasn't any better than anyone else's, and we didn't know that Ryzen 3rd Gen was going to be such a punch in the chops for the entire rest of the industry. If we'd known, we probably would have put this off another 6 weeks, but Hey, that's what happens when you get a new PC. You win some, you lose some. We also ended up with RTX 2070s from ASUS rather than the new super ones, because once again, we got blindsided there. Hooking us up with the rest of the internals of our machines, it's pretty much the Corsair show. We do have an ASUS TUF B450M Plus gaming motherboard, but we are cooled by Corsair. We've got RGB memory courtesy of Corsair. Our cases are Corsair. And of course, the RGB lighting, including their gorgeous light loop fans, which are a key component of any gaming system, are, well, there's nothing more Corsair than a case full of RGB fans at this point in time, I don't think. For the finishing touches, Seasonic hooked us up with 1,000-watt power supplies, totally overkill, but whatever, Seasonic, it's cool anyway. And Cablemod gave us their cable extensions, so they'll all look straight up legit. Speaking of legit, not everyone is that into PC gaming. So, a really important thing for us when we created the lounge was to make sure that everyone would have something to do. Oh, these are the microphones, by the way, for streaming. These are Blue Yeti Nanos. Nano, right? And we've got a huge collection of board games. I've actually only had a chance to play a small handful of these, but this Azul game is actually surprisingly fun. My son had an absolute blast with that one, to the point where I'm kind of bored of it now, but he still really likes it. Funnily enough though, the PC LAN portion of the lounge hasn't been the most popular one. It's actually the console gaming section that has been getting most of the attention. So this up here is one of EluneVision's 4K reference screens, and it does more than just stay super flat and give you a great image. Honestly, guys, this looks kind of washed out, but that is not fair and not representative. We have filming lights set up in the room. It looks fantastic, even with the lights on in other parts of the room normally. But the really cool trick is that you can actually retract the whole thing, and it will reveal a 120 Hertz 4K Omen gaming display from HP if 60 Hertz is not enough for you. I'm so sorry, Taryn. I had to show the feature. I'm putting it back now.
I died for that. It's just like the Nintendo.
The sound system was graciously provided by Klipsch. We've got a 5.1.2 sound system hooked up to our Sony receiver that sounds absolutely fantastic. Whether you're watching movies, my wife and I actually came here late one night on a weekend, hung out, watched a movie. It was freaking awesome. Or you're playing games on the PlayStation 4 Pro or Xbox One X. Now, one of the key components of any console gaming setup is, of course, controllers. So we've got our Nintendo Switch down here, skinned by DBrand, by the way. Massive thanks to DBrand for that. And a way to manage all of our input devices. So this was set up by Jake, and the skinned controllers were graciously provided by DBrand. But for our PlayStation 4 Pro, we've got 4 controllers on these really convenient, like, quick connect charging pads here. One pro tip, by the way, guys, if you value your controllers, let them charge, then put them aside, because you don't want the batteries to sit being fully charged all the time. And we've got 4 controllers for the Xbox One X. We've got our Vive controllers with this handy dandy. Check this out. So did you find this on Thingiverse, Jake? Thingiverse. So Jake found this on Thingiverse, and it's just a 3D printed holster for your Vive controllers where you can put the original cables in here and then just slot them in order to charge them. Pretty freaking sick. Finally, of course, guys, we've got a full 8 controller setup for the Switch. So if we want to get some 8-player Smash going in here in the future, that'll be totally an option. Next up, we've got the gaming desk. So this is where apparently Jake is ripping open a pack of cards to pretend to play Go Fish.
It's supposed to look like we're doing things, all right?
You can't play Go Fish with a fresh deck. This is the pizza that I bribed everyone with to come in and be here, so that is it all gone?
Well, a bunch of people showed up and they didn't say they were coming. So.
Of course, the one with the spinach is the one that everyone leaves for me. Thanks, guys. Also finally fixed is the arcade machine that Anthony built. I think as one of his first long-term projects here at Linus Media Group. At least it's mostly fixed. Okay, this one still needs probably an afternoon of work or so, but that's where it goes in the layout. Then over here, we've got the counter where people are expected to microwave their food, take it to the table, eat it, and nothing more, and never leave any garbage here. We will see how long that lasts. Our final finishing touch is, of course, our Madrenas refrigerator that, no offense to Madrenas, but this thing isn't great. It's pretty loud. We're probably gonna get rid of it at some point. Now, I was gonna skip over it, but Jake insisted that I mention the projector. Now, we actually did a sponsored video on this thing. This is ViewSonic's 4K, but like, not really using the true 4K Texas Instruments chipset. It's like using pixel shift to kind of upscale it or something. And we weren't that impressed with it at the time, but what we've realized is that the problem was just that we were pointing it at an inflatable screen, so it didn't really look that great. In this setup, we've been really, really impressed with it. Did we just blow a breaker?
I told them they're all plugged into the same circuit.
What? You guys are? Why would you do that?
I didn't do that. Did you plug in extra lights?
Okay, there's still some things for us to sort out here. Anyway, we've been really impressed with this thing. It looks really sharp, and the input lag is not that bad. Like, I remember it wasn't that long ago that playing games on a projector was absolutely not a thing, but it's been quite enjoyable on here, and people have been playing a lot of Smash. Actually, in the interest of fairness here, we should turn off these lights and show you guys what it looks like when it's actually dark. Man, that looks good.
I don't know how to refill my ink. How do I do it?
The last piece, of course, is the ping-pong table, but due to the forest of lights that we have over here to light this area up and shoot this video, we can't really have it deployed. Usually it's intended to be more like dark and, you know, man cavey, but hey, we gotta make videos too, right? The new Force B Sport 3 earbuds feature 10 hours of battery life, a 10-meter Bluetooth range, durable construction with metal and polycarbonate materials, an IPX5 rating, so they're workout ready with sweat and water resistance. They support AAC and aptX for better sound quality, and their twin blade spin fit ear tips mean you should be able to get a perfect fit. They come in gunmetal gray or rose gold, and for the month of July and the first week of August, they're just $34.90 instead of $59 on Amazon. Check them out at the link in the video description. So, huge thanks for watching, guys, and a big thanks to everyone who made this project possible. I'm gonna try and list them all, but I don't stand a chance. So Jake and Yvonne were the biggest contributors from our team. Of course, everyone helped at some stage or another because we had to build all these PCs, move all these couches. It was a crazy long project. And then from there, oh man, you got AMD, ASUS, Corsair, they were absolutely instrumental. DBrand, Logitech. Logitech was absolutely huge. Seasonic was a huge sponsor for this. Who else was like really heavily involved, if I can only name the biggest ones? Klipsch, yeah, that audio system is freaking awesome. Corsair. Yeah, I called out Corsair. And of course, you guys for being patient with us as we've worked on this whole thing, and then are gonna be patient with us again as we move the whole thing upstairs, and then we'll probably do a tour again. It wouldn't be the stupidest thing we've ever done. So if you guys disliked it, you can hit that button, but if you liked it, hit like, get subscribed, or maybe consider checking out where to buy the stuff we featured at the link in the video description. That is gonna be quite a chore, Jake, getting links for all this stuff in the video description.
I think we just don't.
I think we do. Also down there is our merch store, which has cool shirts like this one, and our community forum, which you should totally join.